Well, let's head to Uganda now. The central bank has issued a directive stopping Crane Bank from issuing letters of credit, bank guarantees and bid bonds, as well as place restrictions on new loans. Now, the directive comes after the Bank of Uganda has identified that there was a continued and significant erosion of capital. The Apex Bank took over the management of Crane Bank after reports that it was significantly undercapitalized and could become a risk to the overall banking system. Now, these special arrangements with customers are reported to have contributed to the rise in Crane Bank's non-performing loans, which of course were valued at 142 billion Ugandan shillings, just about $40 million by the end of December 2015. Now, Bank of Uganda's decision to place restrictions on lending was reportedly meant to prevent the situation from escalating, but customers now feel that access to capital has been restricted. Well, now Michael Baleke is in Kampala and has been monitoring these developments. He joins us now. Michael is always welcome to the show. Now, definitely 2016 was not an easy year for the country. In the financial sector, like we just mentioned, we saw the collapse of Crane Bank and the possibility that, of course, other banks could follow. Now, experts believe that there is little evidence that Uganda's overall economy will recover in 2017. What are the government's targets for this year?
Hello, Uche. Uganda has started the year 2017 with a mixed bag of challenges. 2016 indeed was a difficult year for Uganda, coming from a very unfavorable balance of payment position to widening budget deficit, a weak local currency, and we had high lending rates which pushed down the appetite for credit. All these and more had a knock-on effect on the economy. And of course the turbulence in the financial sector also affected economic activity. And Bank of Uganda says it hopes that it hopes to see this an economic recovery coming up in about 9 months. However, government's target for 2017 is to roll out and implement the country's transport and energy infrastructure plan. Uganda allocated heavy funds in the last budget towards oil exploration, and of course the standard gauge railway and major highways connecting the oil exploration areas and major import and export routes. The Isimba and Bujagali hydro dams are also on course. Government believes these projects, coupled with investments in oil and gas, which is being fast-tracked, will stimulate economic activity.
Well, Michael, let's talk a little bit more about that. Uganda, which of course is still heavily reliant on agriculture, it could face adverse weather this year. In the oil and gas sector, production licenses were issued, but we hear negotiations seem to have failed. What is the outlook for these two particular sectors?
During the second half of the 2016, Uganda was hit with a very harsh weather, and the prolonged dry spell is starting to manifest into food inflation, with both a drop in harvest and yields. Entire gardens are being wiped out. Government, of course, plans to have solar-powered machines to pump water from the ground to reservoirs, where, of course, farmers can collect water for irrigation. But actualization of these plans, them coming to reality, is still far-fetched. The last 2 financial years, government budgeted for irrigation, but nothing has yielded fruit. Most farmers have delayed planting, while those who can afford are using own resources to start irrigation, to do some kind of irrigation. Coming to oil and gas, there's some kind of stalemate between government and oil companies on building the oil and gas refinery and the pipeline that will transport.
Well, thank you, Michael, for that update.